welcome everyone. So I am Kali and I will be your host and moderator for today's discussion. So yung topic natin for today is about media. So last time yung ibang group ng different questions na dapat nating sagutin. So for this discussion video, we're going to uncover new ideas and I hope that all listeners will be open to our answers. So bago tayo mag-start, let me introduce my group mates, Jello, dalawang Nicole, Robles and Ignacio, Jory Vera, and then me, Kali Medrano. So, yun guys, mag-start tayo sa first question. Ang tanong nila is, do you think the media should be neutral or impartial?
Well, to answer that question, I think that media should really strive to remain neutral and impartial, but of course in different concept. Kasi kung iisipin natin, kung i-analyze natin yung question, pwede kasing maging neutral and impartial sila in terms of political parties wherein kung mayroong issue yung isa, dapat magkaroon din ng issue yung kabila. But if we're going to think about being fair to the facts or being neutral and impartial and giving information na based on facts lang, walang kinikilingan and unbiased, I would say na yes, because in that case, if the media wants to play a crucial role in building a democratic society, then they should try to report or provide us information in a neutral and impartial manner. Kasi alam naman natin na napakalaking papel ng mga media outlets sa atin. And because of them, we are informed and updated of what is happening around the world. And if they present us biased opinions, then they are not being neutral and impartial to the public, which can cause distortion of the truth, can influence the public opinion, of course, and worse, can cause division among people. And with that, hindi sila nagiging fair sa public people kasi they are trying to manipulate us and not building a democratic society.
Okay, so yung opinion ka naman dyan is, yes, media should be impartial or neutral. So, as for me and as for our group, di ba last time, parang same thought naman yung being neutral and impartial. And yung if ang media is neutral or impartial enough, then ma-earn nila yung trust and yung credibility from their audiences, which is us.
So, ayun nga, for me, ganun din, neutral and partial. Kasi, nga, tulad nga sabi kanina ni Joanna and ni Mika, yung, ano, basta yun, and to avoid bias din, yung like, kumbaga, kampi-kampihan, lalo na pag sa political.
So for me naman, I think na mas mabuti kung neutral yung media since responsibility rin naman ng mga journalists na i-present yung facts about sa reports nila para rin ma-avoid yung biases sa both sides of the party and also hayaan na lang yung mga viewers na ma-inform yung opinions nila about the subject. And also kasi kapag hindi magiging neutral yung media, it will cause parang invalidity sa news na nire-report nila and hindi magiging maganda yung image ng media journalist.
For me, I think the media should be neutral or impartial because the people deserve credible sources na walang biases na, like everyone said, para to let the public form their own opinion and take the news as how they want. Yun lang.
Okay, so yun nga nasabi natin na yung role ng media, depende siya sa kung ano yung context, audience, and purpose ng outlet. So, alam naman natin na ideal yung pagiging neutral or impartial, pero gaya nga ng sabi ni Jo, depende case to case basis siya. So, next question, mag-proceed na tayo. So, tingin daw ba natin tina-try bang i-manipulate ng media yung mga tao or ibahin yung view? So, ang opinion ko naman dito is, at some point, they can do it kasi merong bagay na tinatawag na agenda setting. Like before pa nila, i-publish, alam na nila kung anong stories yung dapat i-cover and kung kung alin yung mas bibigyang atensyon ng mga tao. So dahil dito, shape yung public priorities and concerns. The next thing naman is yung framing. So ito yung way kung paano na-present yung story based on how people understand it. So depende sa language or perspective na ginamit. Dun dumedepende yung kung paano na-interpret yung mga audience yung information na binibigay nila. And yan nga, alam naman natin kung gaano ka-powerful yung media, kung gaano kalala yung influence niya. And at some point, yun nga, may mga instances na binabayaran ng ilang organizations or parties para lang ma-manipulate yung ilalabas nila. Then, of course, as audiences, if maniniwala ka sa station na yon or sa media na yon, of course, maiiba na rin yung views mo. Kayo, ano opinion mo?
So, yun nga, for me, nag-a-agree ako kay Mika na, ayun nga, karamihan din sa mga tao na namamanipulate ng media. Pero kasi, minsan depende rin sa tao kung paano nila iisipin. Like, may mga tao din naman na hindi namamanipulate kaagad and may mga tao rin na madaling manipulate. So, for me, depende talaga siya.
For me naman, I think the media does not try to manipulate the people or change their views. Kasi ethically speaking, yung job ng media is mag-provide nga, di ba, ng objective information para sa mga viewers sa reports nila. So, ethical journalism, dapat hindi nila tinatry to manipulate, and also dapat yung mga reports nila is accurate and fair. So, para ma-obtain nila yung mga reports na ganun, dapat maging honest sila. They should not manipulate the people or change their views.
For me, I think social media is a very wide place na it's a very dangerous place kasi there's always threats of fake news and generated content for para ma-control yung gumawa ng content na yun yung views ng consumers. So I think media literacy is key for you to be wary of these kinds of things.
Well, I agree sa sinabi ni Ignacio. Since hindi naman natin na may iwasan na may mga media outlets na bias or may mga hidden agendas, and they really strive to provide us objective news pa rin naman to inform the public and to make us make to make us to us make informed decisions. And I think it is up to us naman to believe or magpapadala tayo sa mga specific information. That is why we should highly encourage everyone to read, check, and look. Read beyond kasi may mga headline na medyo exaggerated or exaggerated talaga. And do fact-checking, of course, and look for multiple credible sources to support the informations we are trying to look.
Okay, so yun, indeed, kailangan talaga ng media literacy sa mundo natin ngayon. Kasi yun nga, they can potentially manipulate public opinion, pero depende pa rin talaga yun sa tao if maniniwala sila. So, need talaga natin i-analyze kung anong media content ba yung kinakaharap natin or dinidig deep natin para nang sa ganun, maintindihan natin if fake news ba 'to or legit or yun nga para hindi tayo ma-manipulate ng kahit anong media content. For the next question, ito medyo ano siya, controversial and nasa ano talaga, up to date siya. So, eto sabi dito, as a member of the Philippine society, do you think the media all over the world is giving accurate information about what's happening between China and Philippines about the West Philippine Sea?
For me, sagot ko dyan, hindi. Especially in China, feeling ko yung mga information na binibigay nila is hindi rin ganun ka-accurate. Lalo na ngayon yung issue nga is yung West Philippine Sea. So, for me, yung sagot ko hindi.
So for me naman, no, kasi sa China naman, dahil may mga government policies sila, mas pinapanigan nila yung historical claims, while on the Philippines, the media is focused sa rule of the Permanent Court of Arbitration in 2016 kasi dito nangyari yung kanino ba talaga yung West Philippine Sea and nagbigay ng evidence yung China na kiniklaim nila na sa kanila tayo yung West Philippine Sea. So also, there is no freedom of press here. So parang walang accurate na informations kasi nare-restrict ang media to report on what is really happening between China and the Philippines.
For me, I think from what I've seen, everywhere except China, of course, kasi papanigan nila yung gusto nila na sa kanila yung West Philippine Sea. They want that narrative. I think from what I see lang sa social media, there's already a movement na para maging aware yung mga tao sa kung ano nangyayari sa China and Philippines.
For me naman, actually it's a really hard question since ano siya, very timely siya. Pero siguro kung sa China, siyempre magkakaroon na ng sugarcoating and siyempre ipapabor na nila yung news sa kanila and based on mga and also din naman I think that the media are doing their best din to provide us with realistic updates. So medyo parang lihis yung answer ko sa inyo. So however, importante pa rin na evaluate tayo ng mga sources or find ng mga reliable sources na sa tingin natin is um makakatulong siya sa regarding that issue.
So yun, same goes with my answer. Ang sagot ko rin is, no and yes at some point. Kasi depende nga siya kung kaninong, information ba galing. So of course, if sa China galing yung information, pabor sa kanila and if sa Philippines naman, then pabor sa'tin. So, depende lang talaga yun sa interest ng media. Also, depende rin sa quality ng reporting. Kunwari, yung kukuhanan natin ng information is hindi naman masyadong, like, kahina-hinala nga siya. So yun, sabi nga ni Jo, check natin yung mga ino-open natin na headlines kasi yung iba is clickbait lang. So, mahalaga talaga na yung ina-access natin na information lalo na sa mga bagay tulad nito since, included na nga yung bansa natin, which is, a warning na and very alarming. So, kailangan natin ma-critically evaluate yung mga sources and, iwasan natin yung potential biases and inaccuracies. So, if, marunong tayo mag-fact checking or yung multi-sourcing, then mas maintindihan natin ng maayos in a comprehensive way and balanced understanding kung ano nga bang totoong nangyayari sa sitwasyon natin ngayon. Next question is, sabi dito, kung ang write down natin is nag-i-include ng freedom of speech or yung kalayaan sa pagsasalita or pagsasabi like freedom of, expression, gano'n. So, paano daw natin nasisigurado na yung mga tao is, nadi-distinguish or nalalaman kung fake news ba o totoo yung isang information?
So for me, madi-distinguish natin 'to by verifying it first. So, we can, investigate muna yung sources and check, kung sino ba yung nag-disseminate ng information. And also, we should validate, i-assess natin kung kanino ba galing yung information and also dapat natin i-differentiate yung facts and opinions and kailangan din natin i-analyze yung content critically. And we must also cross-reference the information by checking kung credible sources ba yun. I-check din natin yung mga ibang credible sources kung same ba yung mga nire-report na information. Also, para din ma-prevent sa maging victim ng fake news, dapat di natin paniwalaan agad yung mga nakikita natin na information sa social media. Dapat natin, let's be critical nga pag may mga nababasa tayo, napapanood tayong news para hindi tayo maging victims ng fake news.
For me, I think since sobrang dali na mag-share ng thoughts mo here sa social media, I think an individual should learn how to distinguish a fact from an opinion. And I think they should also know how to distinguish credible sources from those that aren't. Uh, I think as individuals need to be twice more careful than we are today kasi medyo mas laganap na ngayon yung pang-debate news.
Well, agree ako sa mga sinabi niyo. Since sa panahon ngayon, isang pindot na lang, ready na and accessible na lahat. At hindi na rin nagkakalayo yung pagitan between fake news and sa totoong news. With the rise of social media and the prevalence of clickbait headlines, sobrang hirap na rin ma-identify yung mga fact from fiction. And sabi nga ni Ignacio, um, to ensure that to distinguish between fact and fiction, sobrang importante na maging critical consumers tayo ng mga news sources or maghanap tayo ng mga news sources na very credible. And this means, hindi rin ibig sabihin nito na take lang tayo ng take or kung ano mabasa natin, go na. Kailangan maging skeptical pa rin tayo sa pagpili ng mga credible sources.
Yun, tulad ng mga sinabi niyo, gano'n rin naman yung opinion ko or say ko about it. So yun nga, multi-sourcing, fact-checking, and alam ko if meron ng ano, tool ngayon if ano, like credible ba yung isang source or isang information. So kung tamad ka, puwede mo naman gamitin yun just to be sure of the information you're getting. But at the same time, of course, ine-check mo pa rin if ano siya, if tama. So, ang ano ko lang dito is kailangan talaga natin yung media literacy, right? So, halata naman sometimes deceiving yung isang, information. So, if may nakikita tayong kahit konting signs ng misinformation, then we should check it and stay informed. Next question, guys. Last question na 'to. So, it is prevalent that sensationalization is one of the themes in our media and society. So ano daw yung dapat gawin ng media and society para masigurado na lahat ng events ay patuloy na bino-broadcast and pinag-uusapan hanggang ma-address ito properly or ma-solve it? Bigay daw tayo examples.
I think I agree na everything is sensationalized in our media and society. I think us as citizens should continue being a voice for those who can't in certain issues as much as we can. Kasi I think we downplay our voices and what it can do. Um, I think, sabi dito, the media and the society should continuously broadcast things until may mangyari, until may result tayong makuha. Just like, for example, yung boycott na nangyayari ngayon. It started from a little, parang may nagsabi na why don't we boycott the brands that support Israel, and hanggang sa everyone did it, and it's slowly hurting the brands that does support Israel. Like, dati wala akong nakikitang ads about Starbucks, but now, kada swipe ko, meron. So, I think, may nagagawa yung pagiging voice natin sa mga less fortunate.
Well, so in that way, napakalaki talaga ng natutulong ng society, no, sa mga maliliit na movements lang. And syempre for us, we should be stay informed, and we should also engage in discussions and hold leaders accountable na din. And this can be done through voting politicians who prioritize transparency and accountability. And siguro and also um we should let our voice be heard na din.
Sa'kin naman, so, yung media and society, they play a huge role in this world. So, lalo na sa punto ng media. So, if magko-commit yung media, I think, if magko-commit sila sa ethical journalism, though masyado siyang ideal. Pero if lahat ng media is magko-commit sa gano'n, which is yung, accurate information lang yung nilalabas nila, walang bias, and if yung mga tao is nagfo-foster ng media literacy and pa-participate sa mga civic engagement, then, magkakaroon tayo ng focus sa mga events and yun, mapapanatiling naka-broadcast lahat ng nangyayari sa ating paligid.
So for me, mahalaga rin nga talaga tulad ng sinabi niyo yung magsalita, yung gamitin yung mga boses natin. For example na lang din yung people power dun sa EDSA, like hindi sila tumigil hangga't hindi natatapos or may nababago sa lahat.
For me, agree rin ako kay Jo at kay Nicole. Yung be the voice of the voiceless kasi nga if parang hindi nila kayang i-talk out or address yung mga concerns nila, parang tayo na lang yung dahil tayo may kakayanan mag-voice out ng mga i-address yung mga concerns nila. So I think we must be the voice for the voiceless.
So, yun nga, gaya ng sabi nila, maging voice tayo. Kasi, as a micro step, makes a huge, like parang kahit maliit yung step na ginagawa natin, malaki yung impact nito sa ating paligid. So, if lahat tayo gagawa ng simple step, then we will make this nation a better place. So, to wrap up this discussion video, tandaan natin na ang pagiging active na citizen is pagiging pananatiling maging informed and pag-engage sa mga dialogue tulad nito or pagiging like yun nga sabi ko mag-participate sa mga civic engagement. So, kahit anong action kahit gaano kaliit, it can make a difference. So, sana lahat tayo magkaroon ng conversation tulad nito and i-share niyo yung mga thoughts and ideas sa mga taong nakakausap niyo. Kasi malay niyo ma-realize nila na gan'to, na ganyan. And nakatulong pa tayo, 'di ba? So, thank you for joining us today and sana na-inspire namin kayo to think more deeply about your role as an active citizen. So, thank you guys. Bye-bye.